So on the left rear brake of my little van project here, I found that the wheel cylinder had completely blown and the pad or the shoes were unusable. So I went ahead and ordered shoes all the way around. Earlier video I stated I was going to leave the front hardware alone. Actually, I was going to leave all the hardware alone and replace it down the road, but if I have to order any, I'm going to order all. So this is a little tutorial on a couple of tricks that you can use if you don't have all the proper tools. Getting the shoes on old drums like this, they actually make a specialized tool to put everything together, but I don't have that tool and I'm not going to go buy it. It's actually getting a little bit difficult to find that tool because so many things are all drum brake or disc brake now. Drums have kind of gone to the wayside. So first thing we're going to do is the shoe hold down springs. Now, pair of pliers, just a normal pair of pliers, but you want the kind that can open up just a little bit. By putting them in the open position, it makes this job a lot easier. So put the nail in, put the shoe on, and you'll see just like that. Now, one thing I've learned on these is that if you pull the shoe back, it tends to drop in like this. This can make it a lot easier to where you don't even need the tools, the pliers sometimes. You can just put it on with your hand and then pull it back up. So first you'll put the little hat on, the spring, the next little hat, and if it's got room, you'll see by putting it back like that, you can actually put it on just with hand pressure. If not, grab it just like that, and by having it open, it gives you more leverage. That's why you want to be able to open those up. Once it's on, just slide it up into place. Make sure that it goes into the cylinder feed. So if I'll do the other side real quick here, and I'll do it with it up and show you what I mean by using the pliers in an open position. So once that's up, and I'm going to leave it all the way up into position, we'll put the first hat on. And what I like to do is I like to make sure that this nail is the little flat on the nail is straight up and down or straight side to side. That way you can find it a little easier with the second hat. So we'll put that other spring on there. I'm gonna have to hold it with my thumb just a bit. Now, because I've got that straight up and down, I want this straight up and down. And then by holding it, and I'm in a little awkward position because I'm trying to do this for the camera, you can just put it in there, and I missed just a touch. So let me give that another shot. In, give it just a little bit of a turn, and then turn it the rest of the way so that it's set in properly, and then make sure that it's up where it belongs. And even with trying to keep it up there, it wants to drop down into that little recess. So there, it's up into spot. Okay, now the next thing that people do that just infuriates me, because it's kind of a safety issue, but you know, if you don't know, you don't know, is when they go to put the spring that goes up to the top. Okay, what they'll do, since they don't have the proper tool, they'll get a pair of pliers. I've even seen it done with cuts because they can get better grip. And they'll grab hold of this thing, and then they'll just pull with everything they've got to get it up there. And usually the first couple of tries, they're not holding on tight enough. It slips off and they go flying. But the big problem with doing this is these pliers will start cutting into the metal. And even though this spring is brand new, you can see where some of the paint and stuff is gone, but these are coated to help prevent rust from occurring. So what happens is you just cut through that coating, and now it's going to try to rust up on you. So the trick to these is to get the biggest flat Phillips screwdriver that you've got, because it's got these little cutouts on it, which makes life so much easier for you. Okay, the tool that you're supposed to use actually will fit over top of this, and then by using a twisting motion, it'll pull it into place. But since I don't have that tool, by using a Phillips, it gives me that little notch there, and then I can work it up and not have the screwdriver try to fly off. Now, it's not always perfect, and as you can see, I'm struggling a little bit because I should be doing this from the other side. But you can give it a pull and it'll pop it right on. So you don't need that specialized tool to get these springs on, and that saves the spring a lot of hardship and early rusting. So we'll do it again on this one, and this side should go a little bit easier because I'm up more on the proper side, but you can get that on there. Get that spring up as high as you can before you start to pull it, before you start to pull the screwdriver up. And the bigger the screwdriver, the better, because as you can see, it's not going to want to stay perfect, and sometimes it does take a couple of shots. I'm kind of distracting myself here, but there it goes, and pops right on. No specialized tool needed. Okay, now for the bottom, what I do to make life easy is I put the spring and the self-adjusting piece on, and then you'll notice this doesn't quite reach, but with just a tiny little bit of leverage from usually even just your hands, you can get this. You can pull this up and it'll pop right on, and that makes life easy at the bottom side. So, and then make sure that it works, and as you can see, it adjusted up, and the little wheel turns every time I do that. So I'm gonna take back that off just to make putting the drum back on easier. And that's how you take care of the drum brakes when you don't have the proper tool and get those upper springs on.